Welcome back. So since the last part, I've taken a bit of time to map things out, figure out what's going to work and what won't work, and make changes as needed. And basically, I believe I have everything the way I want it. But you might be able to see here, I've marked out things on the table. Just in front of the fire station, you've got the entrance for the trucks. There will be patches of grass on both sides. Going over here, this will be the parking area. You'll have 5 spaces here, 3 spaces here, patches of grass on both sides of the entrance. And over here, this is something I've had to make changes with. Originally, I was going to have a shed to house this antique fire truck. However, looking at this, the size of the shed is just too close to the road to be realistic in my opinion. I decided to cut another piece of cardboard to a better size for the shed. If I just line that up, I think that looks more realistic. The only downside is this fire truck doesn't fit. It'll only really be able to hold a regular car or truck. That is if I want to still use the shed for vehicles or just storage, but just don't have a place for this truck now. I think the next thing though is I'm going to start cleaning things up here to begin putting the turf down, and I might go ahead and mess around with the driveways a little bit too. I'm not sure just at this time. Alright, I moved everything out of the way, and what I have in front of me now is what I use to put down turf. First, I've got a 50-50 mix of PVA glue and water. I've also got the PVA by itself, and then I've also got some fine turf. Now, I like to use this green grass by Scenics. However, one concerning thing is I noticed what I have in this container here is all that I have at this time. I should have ordered more of this when I was working on my other table back in March. However, I forgot, so hopefully what I have here is enough to do all this and basically hold me over till I can order some more. And my method for putting turf down is I like to first put the PVA down, spread it around with a paintbrush, and in this case I'm going to be using a spoon to sprinkle the fine turf because I feel this gives more control versus just dumping it out of the container. So I'll go ahead and start on this, and I'll probably do a time lapse just to make it more interesting. Well, there's the turf down, and really there's nothing else I can do here till the glue dries, which that'll be a couple hours. So I'm probably going to leave this here and pick up on it again tomorrow morning. Alright, it's the next day. The glue has dried, the excess turf has been swept off, and what you see in grass right now is basically everything that's going to be grass. The parking lot I want to start on next, and I'm going to be painting that to look like asphalt. As for where the fire station's going to go, I might not bother painting that at all because, well, you're never going to see when the fire station's there. But the garage over here, or shed, I want to paint that gray to look like cement. And as for the drive here at the front of the station, I'm thinking I want that to look more like a sandstone color. But I'll go ahead and get started on the parking lot here. I'll be using this paint right here. It's a matte acrylic paint, and I've had this bottle for ages, but I'll basically just pour some of this on the parking lot, and then I'll use one of these foam brushes to basically spread the paint around and cover everything. This is the exact same method that I've used for all my parking lots or roads, and it just works for me. But probably another case if I'll do a time lapse because it'll take a little bit. there's the parking lot painted, which was actually quite the undertaking. Apparently that bottle had a lot of impurities in it. What I believe this is chunks of dried paint, and also there was gobs of just gobbed paint. Like I said, I've had this bottle for a while, and I think it's starting to show its age. But I had to keep stopping and picking those impurities out of the parking lot here. Hopefully I got them all, and when this dries it'll have a nice finish to it. But yeah, I'm going to wait for this paint to dry. I might paint where the shed's at and the driveway for the fire station, or I might save that till the next part. Just have to wait and see what happens here. So the paint's dry, and I put some things back in place to see how things are coming along. And I have to say I really like the look of it so far. I will need to come back at a later date with the parking lot here and paint in the parking spaces. Again, that'll be done later on. And I probably won't bother showing me painting the rest of this because you already saw me do the parking lot. There's no point to, repeat that. And I think really I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I will pick things up again in the next part. So until then, I'll see you guys soon.